Should you become a UX designer in 2022? Well, we're waiting. Many people are considering the career change because it seems a little bit easier than coding, right? And still pays pretty well and you're working in tech. So what could go wrong? Here is 4 reasons why you might want to reconsider becoming a UX designer this year. Don't go into UX if you're afraid of competition. Just the Google course alone this year had nearly 300,000 participants. And of course, the number of roles in the market is growing all the time, but it's becoming increasingly saturated. So there's big competition out there. This means you need to work especially hard to be in the top tier that the recruiters are mostly interested in. This requires you to stand out and get a little creative, because most juniors simply follow the path of least resistance. Just having a certificate from a popular course is not enough to get a job, and you'll have to fight your way through. With the right approach, you can stand out, but you need to first find that right approach and not just copy what everybody else is doing. I have a lot of videos on this channel on how you can stand out from the crowd if you're not discouraged already. Also, don't go into UX if you're afraid of hard work. Many junior designers believe that what they do in the course or in the bootcamp or in the class is completely enough, and they end up with a portfolio that has one case study with just one project in it. These are almost always rejected by recruiters right away. They don't even read your resume. They don't care. If you just have one project, you're off. You need a portfolio with at least 5 case studies in it to actually tell those recruiters that you're ambitious and you're dedicated and you're hardworking, and this is what they're looking for. So if you have one, sorry. That means you need to spend weeks on your portfolio alone, and some people simply don't want to put in that much effort. If you're doing daily UI challenges, keep in mind that most people quit on day 6. So if you manage to actually get through a monthly challenge, you'll have 30 UI projects, and that's a start. But it still means that there is a lot of hard work ahead of you. And that hard work is something that you need to continue doing every single day for months before you start seeing any results. And many people get discouraged by that because we live in a society with instant gratification. Well, it's not gonna be that way in UX. If you like procrastinating and watching cat videos on YouTube, then the first year especially of the UX journey might not be for you. Don't go into UX if you think that you can learn it from online tips. You might have seen them floating around the internet. Add an arrow to the button to increase conversion, make your checkboxes larger to make the users happy. Those tips are often recycled over and over, and many of them end up not really being true. If you think you can learn UX from just following those easy to follow tips, then you might be in for an unpleasant surprise. Tips can be helpful, of course, if they are from a good source and if you already know how the design process works. If you have the mind of a designer before you start using the tips, then they can actually be beneficial. But if you think that the tips alone, just knowing a couple of little things, from the industry is gonna be enough for you to excel at it, nope, that doesn't work like that. This is also the reason why I made my UI tips book free, because I don't believe that you can actually learn design from them. You can avoid some mistakes if you're already a designer and if you're designing something for a client, but just learning from tips, no. And the last and the most important reason not to do UX this year is if you want to do good in the world. There's this notion that UX is all about the user, and it's all about making the user happy and helping them solve their problems and basically catering to their every need. The empathy towards the users is cited as the most important thing a designer should have. But what does it all mean? The reality is often very far from that. The real reason most companies care about the user experience is because if the user experience is bad, people will take their dollars somewhere else. So yeah, it's all about the money, not the users. That means that many UX designers are actually hired to mislead and cheat the users on purpose by creating dark patterns and some evil mechanics to siphon more money out of the users. And in most big companies, you'll likely be rewarded by doing evil things that are not good for the users, things that are good for the bottom line of the company at the expense of the users. Now, these evil things can range from making the X to close the pop-up super small and annoying, all the way to having a double negative terms and conditions agreement form that basically says something that people don't really understand, so they agree to it without really knowing and without really wanting to agree to it. I recently went to a presentation where a person was saying that they did some user research and they found a way to actually make people buy a product that wasn't necessary for them by a simple upsell form on the checkout page. So basically what it means that they were happy and they were rewarded by having people spend money, probably going into debt or adding it to their credit card on a product they didn't even need. And yes, this is UX for you. Of course, there are some good companies out there that don't follow these patterns, but in the current economy and in the current approach to all this, it's likely that you will be forced to do some evil sometimes. So if you're a good, empathetic person, UX might not be for you, because it's really about the empathy on the surface level, and down beneath that, there's a lot of evil stuff going on. Okay, can you think of any other reasons not to become a UX designer this year? Let me know in the comments. To balance things out, next week we're gonna look why you should become a UX designer in 2022. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have a beautiful day. Cheers.